Hey, what's going on, community and culture night friends? We're so excited that you guys are joining us. We're just going to wait just a couple more moments as we allow some people to get on, and then we will begin very shortly. All righty. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you guys so much for being a part. As always, my name is Niki Abrahams. I'm one of the team members for the Community Culture Night group. And as always, 2 times a month, we just give you an opportunity for you to learn something new from really interesting people in Indy and around the area and even in another region of the country. We're really excited today to have Niki Burt. She is the Senior Community Manager for Yelp Indy. We had an opportunity to chat with her, myself, and one of our other team members who's actually going to be doing the interview, Erica. She's fantastic. If you haven't met her, she's going to be interviewing because Erica is also a Yelp Elite, and so I think this is going to be a really great conversation that we get to sit in on. As always, thank you guys so much for being a part. As we continue to move forward, we'll kind of talk about this as we wrap up today. Just opportunities for how to continue to get involved, kind of what's next. We'll kind of chat about that. But as always, thank you guys so much for being a part. We hope that these conversations are enjoyable, that they're a lot of fun, and that you learn something new. And so I don't want to take too much time away from this conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Niki up, and she's going to share a little bit about what she does, who she is, has some slides, and then from there, Erica's going to hop on and go ahead and do some interview questions just to really get into some conversation. So I'm going to bring Niki up right now. Awesome. Hi, Niki. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'm super pumped to be here. I feel honored.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to kick myself off and give you the floor to introduce yourself. People get to know you, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Welcome. I'm so pumped to be here. Like I said, if you notice, I'm outside because I live in a small 1-bedroom apartment. My husband and I switch off having to be quiet while the other person is on a call or something fun like this. So super pumped to be here. What I know about this group is that you all sound really fun and that you like to meet new people and learn new things. So you guys are all my kind of people. So I'm pumped to be here. I also learned that a lot of you are from different places around the country. So if you want to put that in the chat so we can see where you're from, that'd be pretty cool as well. Like Nee said, I'm Niki with Yelp Indy. I personally love my job so much, which I know is a rare thing to find. And essentially my job is to connect people with each other and with awesome local businesses. So it's super cool. And I'm with Erica a lot, which is how I got connected to this group. So we can go to the next slide. We have someone from Wisconsin. Hi, Anna. Yes. So like I mentioned, this is my name. I'm the Senior Community Manager here in Indy. I work from home all of the time. So a lot of times you'll see me just working out of different coffee shops around town. So if you ever do see me, come say hi. And as I mentioned too, my primary job is to connect the community with really great local business owners. And one of my favorite parts of doing that is sharing business owner stories. So we do that by having multiple events every month with business owners. We partner with a lot of cool organizations and connect businesses to those groups. And we just do a lot with the media. So I'll get to share a lot of business owner stories on TV and blogs, on podcasts and things like that. And I really love it because I try to seek out businesses that maybe don't have a lot of marketing money or maybe aren't from here or maybe just have a story that hasn't been told yet. And so I love to come alongside those business owners and just share what's super special about them. So I wanted to share a few of those businesses with you today. You can go to the next slide. Awesome. Okay, so my favorite food of all time in Indianapolis is Casa Maria. So if you've been there before, put that in the chat. If you haven't, write it down. It is delicious. So it's on 96th Street and Michigan Road. Actually, a little more south, but it's definitely on Michigan Road. And they serve pupusas, which if you haven't had that before, it's an El Salvadoran, essentially like a pancake, but you can choose to have cheese or beans or any kind of meat baked into it. So it's that good. So you choose that, and then they have the best guacamole I've ever had in my life. And then they give you this almost like a watery tomato sauce, and then fermented lettuce that you pour on top. And it is super, super good. They also have tacos, queso, all that good stuff. But that is my go-to meal in Indianapolis. And then favorite coffee shop is Indie Coffee Roasters. They're located in Carmel. The owners are really wonderful, so I like to work there and chat with them. Favorite cocktail would be 1205 Distillery, which is in the northern part of Indianapolis. They just opened a second location, and they're really kind and amazing. And they have this really awesome cocktail tower that you can share with a group, and you can sit outside so you can still social distance, kind of fun. And then my favorite dessert, if you haven't been to Indiana before, because I see a lot of you are from other places, this is the state pie of Indiana, is the sugar cream pie. So if you haven't had it, I'll give you a hint. It has a lot of sugar in it, but it's super delicious. And the best one I've had is at Locally Grown Gardens, which is right off the Monon in Broad Ripple. And then my favorite activity, which is something I just discovered, is Traders Point Creamery, which again, if you haven't been here, it is a delicious restaurant and dairy farm. It's located in Zionsville, and they have huge grounds where they just have like pastures and forests and cows everywhere. And you can pay $3 and walk this mile-long path around their grounds. And like I said, you'll be up close and personal with the cows, which is really cute. You can walk by the river. There's forests. It's a really cool path. And if you're like me, you've gone on the same walk almost every day during quarantine at your house. So it's kind of fun to switch it up. And then they also have an outdoor milk bar, so you can get a milkshake after your mile-long walk, to really just make sure you cancel out the exercise. And then my favorite workout in Indy is DanceWorks. I've danced my whole life, but even if you've never danced in your life, or you're even in another state, they do virtual dance classes. And it's almost like a dance cardio kind of class. So it puts you in a really good mood, especially after a long day of sitting down at work. And then finally, I guess not favorite, love all the nonprofits, but I work with Dotted Line Divas, and they're located in Carmel, and they are essentially a personal hygiene pantry. So we've been doing drive-through pantry days out of Mercy Road Church, and all these cars line up and they drive through and you hand over bags, and it's really cool. And they always need more volunteers. If you're looking for somewhere to volunteer where you can still distance, that's definitely a good option. And I see someone said they love Indie Coffee Roasters. That's awesome. If you are from Indy, put some of your favorite spots in the chat. I'd love to see where you guys have been, and maybe you can see if there's a place that I haven't been. We can go to the next slide. Awesome. Okay, so as I mentioned, I work for Yelp, so of course I'm writing Yelp reviews all the time, and I wanted to actually give Erica a shout out, because Erica is also a fellow Yelper. So as you can see, these are our pages. Recently I found this awesome donut shop that just opened. It's Hawaiian themed. It's delicious. You can't go wrong with a donut shop. And they just opened. So reviewing them in a time where it's a pandemic and you're courageous enough to open a business, it's pretty incredible. And so I wanted to make sure I give them some credit and kind of help put them on the map by sharing some photos and a great review for the business. And then you can see Erica on the right. She reviewed some of her travels. She went to New York and was writing about that. And it's just, especially during these times, so heartwarming for me to see people writing good reviews right now and just sharing what a certain business means to them. I guess I always picture myself in the shoes of a business owner, and just picture not being able to see your customers in person for many months. And then you wake up one morning and you have a review that's just like glowing and wonderful. And it's kind of that encouraging boost. So our reviews mean a lot right now. So I spend a lot of time messaging people on Yelp and just thanking them for writing great reviews, or maybe if they need to share a little more grace during this time, I ask what their favorite spots are. So that's been a really cool way to support businesses from afar. Oh, it looks like someone's been to Ohana before. Oh, nice. Porter Books and Bread. I love that place. If you haven't been there, they have a really cool basement, and you walk up these spiral stairs to get some coffee. It's very cool. Okay, now this is a really, really cool slide because these are 4 hacks that you probably didn't know that you could do on Yelp. So if you've never used it before, you can use it on your phone, you can use it online, but every business is on Yelp already, and it's free to use, free for businesses to be on there. So a couple of cool things that have helped me become an adult, if you will, are the first one is that if you ever need something done around your house, for example, you can type it into Yelp, and now there's a feature where you can request a quote or you can request a consultation, and it lets you know which businesses respond and how quickly they normally respond. So if you say like, SOS, my air conditioning just went out, you can send that to up to 10 businesses and get a quote back immediately. So it's very helpful when you're trying to learn how to be an adult. The second one is that you can also now request appointments. So if you need a nail appointment, a hair appointment, barbershop, anything like that, you can now type that into the Yelp app, and then the businesses with that feature pop up first. So that's now how I book all of my appointments. It's super easy, super quick. You don't have to do that phone tag back and forth, which is really nice. The third thing is that whenever you search for, say, food, for example, I typed in tacos because, as I mentioned, that's a go-to. You can either type in the word, or I also just learned you can type in the emoji, which is kind of fun. But once you type that in, you can select if they offer delivery, if they offer takeout, if they're open now. And then you can even get down to fine-tune features, such as I'll search for places that have a patio or are dog-friendly or have free Wi-Fi, since I'm kind of always working from everywhere. So that's a way to help the search really find exactly what you're looking for, which is pretty awesome. And someone just said, yes, I saw the appointments before COVID. Yes. And now we actually just released this week, but you can, a lot of businesses now have their COVID features at the top of their page. So it'll say like, here's the protocol, here's what we're doing. So before going someplace, you know, like, do I need to wear a mask? Can I sit outside? What's the deal? So that's been super helpful in these times. And then the last thing is that we have so many cool free events, which I'm going to be talking about in a second. But if it's a Saturday and you are looking for something to do, you can either type in activities into Yelp, and you can find there'll be parks and trails and all these cool activities listed, which I do a lot. Or you can go to the events tab, and you'll see what Yelp events are coming up, or any community events are also posted there. So it's kind of a good way to get a pulse on what's happening in the community. All right, next slide. Okay, awesome. This is my favorite part of my job, is the Yelp Elite Squad. So as you saw on Erica's page, she had a little elite badge on her page, and she's been elite for many years. Essentially what this means, it's a really fun group of people who love the city, they love to support local businesses, and they like to go on adventures and make friends, which honestly, if you guys had a definition for this group, it sounds kind of similar. So this group is awesome. Everyone is welcome. Anyone can nominate themselves. And the requirements of joining are that you are 21 or over, you are active on Yelp, and you're generally positive. So when you're reviewing businesses, you're being constructive, you're being helpful, and you're also just thanking them and being appreciative, kind of that overall just sense when you're writing. So this group is awesome because there's hundreds and hundreds of them in the Indy area. My market stretches from Lafayette to Bloomington. So it's the majority of Indiana. And if you're not from Indiana, like I mentioned, there is someone with my job in almost every big city. So even really big cities like Chicago or LA, they have 3 or 4 people doing this job. So you can always join your city's elite squad. And it's the coolest way to make new friends. So we have a free event just about once a week. And I've met so many wonderful people from it. One of my favorite parts of it is that it's incredibly diverse. So we have people from age 21 to 80. We have male, female from all these different countries speaking different languages. It's such a cool group. And it's one of the few places I've seen in the area where you can have so many different people in one place just becoming friends. And so that is one of the most heartwarming parts of my job is just kind of planting people at tables with who I think will be friends with each other, or leaving an event and seeing this 60-year-old retiree woman talking to this like 21-year-old who just graduated from college, and they're becoming friends and they're like sharing life advice. And it's just a really cool thing to see so many generations and types of people mixing together. And we can go to the next slide. Yes, so I mentioned we do events all the time, and you saw some of those in the photos. So the biggest event we ever did, which was so cool and it was so much work, but we have this big canal in downtown Indianapolis. And we wanted to take advantage of it because it's usually a space that isn't used. So we blew up 2,000 inner tubes, and we had all these local businesses planted on the side of the canal. So we had a local brewery, we had a local pie shop, we had this local winery, we had a sandwich shop all the way down the canal. And so everyone would enter the canal, they would sit in their inner tube, and they would float down, and they'd paddle over to get a sample of a local beer, and then they'd paddle over to get a slice of pie. And it was a really cool way to experience a lot of new businesses and see the face behind the business while just enjoying yourself and having fun in the city. So that was definitely one of the coolest ones we've done. And again, all of our events are free. And so we had thousands of people show up that day, and it was a really warm day, and it was perfect for it. But we also do smaller events. So we'll do a 20-person, like 3-course meal with a wine pairing, and you're with the chef, and you're going behind the scenes and hearing from them about their business, what they go through, how it's hard, why they're special, like all this really cool stuff. So it's honestly, every day is so different. A lot of them are food related. A lot of people assume that Yelp is all entirely food, but we actually support any kind of business. So we even did an adulting with Yelp class where we went to a local car shop, and they had 4 different stations. And we learned how to rotate our own tires, how to check if our, I think it was, oh gosh, I honestly didn't participate in this one because I was managing it, but they taught us 4 different things, 4 different skills, how to know when you need to pump up your tires, things like that. And then they gave everyone lifetime coupons to come back and get help, and they were helping people with their cars. And so we just do all kinds of stuff. And this is the last example I'll mention for right now, but another one of my favorites is that we did a Friendsgiving in underground catacombs under our city market. So we had this really cool business. She actually essentially has all the supplies to decorate a big holiday table. So she has all the cool plates and the table runners and the candles and all these decorations that you might not have room to actually buy and store yourself. You can just rent them from her. So she came down to these catacombs with me, and it's kind of dark. There's water kind of drizzling down the side of these brick walls. And she set up this beautiful spread with candles and all this like Thanksgiving ware on the table. And then we had this local chef come and cook meals for everyone. And so we were just underneath our city market with all these brick arches, and it was kind of like a spooky, cool, intimate vibe. And we had this dinner, and so many people became friends and just got to share a meal together, which is really special. And that was one of my personal favorites. And again, people usually don't know each other when they show up. So they show up alone, and they end up with friends after them. And then, yes, we've been doing virtual events as well. So they are also free. They're also every week, and they're always different because we try to find something for everyone. So these are some of the ones we've been doing recently. So last night we did a masking and relaxing event where we made our own body scrub, and we made matcha face masks. If you're wondering why my skin is glowing. No, I'm just kidding. But we did that last night with a local maker. We did a risotto making class with a local seafood business this week. Last week we did scone baking. You could purchase a little baking kit from the business, or you could just show up and bring your own ingredients. And the owner is from England, so she taught us how to make a proper scone. Hint, you have to use jam and clotted cream. She was like super against anyone ever eating a scone without those 2 toppings. We did a coast-to-coast trivia night where the whole country joined in and competed against each other with live trivia. We do lunchtime workouts. We did a phone photography class, sourdough bread making, a chocolate tasting, queso making with Sun King's Pachanga beer. And then we did, whiskey making class. We made whiskey cocktails together. So it's really just a diverse mix. And people often send me ideas of things that they've been wanting to do, and we make it happen. So if you ever have any ideas, or if there's anything you've been wanting to learn, feel free to put it in the chat. I've been joking that this is almost my personal bucket list coming to fruition because there's so many things I've been wanting to learn, and I'm not personally a good cook, and I've been able to really master a few dishes from having these chefs speaking to me while I'm in my own kitchen. So it's been very, very cool. We usually have like 30 to 50 people at each event. So you can always log in and either have your camera going so that you can see everyone else, or you can be more anonymous. But it is a fun way to feel like you're connecting and not alone in your apartment. We can go to the next slide. And that's it. As I mentioned, there's an elite squad in every city. So if you just Google Yelp Elite Squad, you'll find it. You'll find information. You can nominate yourself. And then the person with my job will just message you back within a day or so and introduce themselves and just kind of start the conversation from there. But again, it's a really cool way to meet new people. It's a really great way to see your city. Before this job, I thought I had been most places in my city. And now I'm telling you, like the catacombs underground, I never would have found those. There's so many hidden venues and hidden businesses, and it's been a really cool thing. So that's what I do. I'd love to hear from you guys if you have any questions, or I know Erica has some questions, but I'm pumped to be a part of this group. I want to come back to more of these talks because it seems really fun.
They are very fun. You are welcome to come with us every month as we move forward.
Perfect.
Yeah, thanks, Nikki. That is so insightful. I think there's just like always something to learn about Yelp and what's going on in our city and all of these things surrounding us. So I know I'm really excited to check out some of those places that you mentioned were your favorites. And so I hope that those joining us are also excited.
Yeah.
We will make sure that as questions come in, we ask them, but I do have a few that I wanted to talk with you about. So curious, I know you talked about favorites with us, but what are maybe a couple hidden gems around the city, whether that be restaurants or just places that you maybe hadn't heard of? I know you said you grew up here, but what are some of those hidden gems that we maybe don't know about, but we definitely should check out?
Yeah, good question. People always ask me this, and my husband always jokes that I don't let us go to the same place more than once usually, because I'm like, no, we have to try somewhere new. But I do have some favorites. One of my favorites is For Real. It's on College Avenue. The owner is so sweet, and it's just really nice in there, and it's kind of like a secret spot because it's a place we just never run into anyone, and it's quiet, and it's a good place to have good conversation. One of my other favorites is Libertine. I don't know if you've been there, but it's on Mass Ave, but it's kind of funky in terms of there's not really a sign on the outside. You have to go downstairs, and it's in a basement. So that's a fun place I like to take visitors because you don't really expect it. Let's see. A few of my other favorites would be, let's see, I've eaten Casa Maria and Sushi Boss for like my past couple meals. Yeah, I would say mostly those. The newest secret spot was that walk at Traders Point. They don't advertise it at all. And so there was just no one there, which I don't know if you guys have all been trying to go to parks recently, but they've been pretty crowded. So that was a really, really cool alternative. We just hung out there all day, which was pretty awesome.
Awesome. I love it. Always love to have an inside scoop on what we should be checking out. So I appreciate that. We do have a few questions coming in. So do you ever travel for Yelp and work at events outside of Indianapolis? And I know you said your region's pretty large, so even maybe outside of Indiana.
Yeah, that's such a good question. I love to travel, so I'm always like waiting for someone to ask me to help with an event. Because there is only one of us in each big city, when we do have really big events, they'll let us invite a couple other CMs to come to our city and help out. So our biggest event of the year is Yelp Bazaar, which is every December. It's like 6,000 people and it's just me. So this year, someone from LA came, someone from Rochester, New York came, and someone from Cincinnati came to help me, which was wonderful. I have gone to Detroit to help with an event. It was so cool. I've never been able to just enjoy a Yelp event. And I was like, this is the most fun event I've ever been to. They did an event that was in this abandoned boathouse. It was falling apart. It was this beautiful, majestic building. And it was like, it's peeling. The paint is peeling. And no one owned it currently. So they've been trying to raise money to restore it. So they did this big event in this like beautiful, like rundown mansion, essentially. It was beautiful. But yeah, it's on the water and it flooded the night before. And so we were like building ramps so that the couple of thousand guests could like cross to even get in. And like the basement was flooded. So we were moving the tables up and it turned out to be amazing. No one knew, but yeah, there are a lot of work behind the scenes, but I'll take any chance I can to travel. And then the only other time I've traveled is every year we have a community manager week in San Francisco. And I like can't even describe how fun it is because every person that attends, their job is to plan fun events. And so when there's a group of like 20 of them planning it, it's like everything is themed. Everything has like, is like involves really cool restaurants. Like every event, there's like 6 vendors and they have like different kombuchas and cocktails and all this cool stuff to try. And yeah, everyone is so nice there. Because their job is essentially to be friendly and make friends. And so it's like a very welcoming environment. I really love it.
That's amazing. Love to hear about it. All the behind the scenes, especially that Detroit event. Wow. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, I know.
You guys were doing all the heavy lifting, literally.
Yeah.
So where can people who are interested find the events that are happening on the Yelp app or on the website? Where would they go to find that?
Yes. So if you open your Yelp app, if you don't have it, download it. But once you open it, there is a more, it's called More tab. It's on the far right. You click that and then you'll see an Events tab. And they'll just update automatically. So you can click on any of those, hit RSVP, and then you'll get an email from me within a couple of days. So with the virtual events, everyone's getting in because we have no capacity. So it's a good time.
Awesome. Is there any sort of membership fee?
No, it's totally free. You join, so your badge lasts an entire year. Your elite badge lasts a whole year. So when you nominate yourself, usually I come back to you with a few tips on how to get there. Basically what they look for, and it's not me choosing, but basically what they look for is consistency over time. Since the badge lasts a full year, are you someone that supports businesses regularly? And then positivity, as I mentioned, and then adding some photos on the page is really helpful as well. So that's it. Once you join, you have the badge all year. There's no pressure to go to any events. That's more of a perk to thank everyone for being awesome contributors. But yeah, there's no fee. That's why I'm always telling everyone, like, you just join. Like, there's no risk. So yeah, my husband's Yelp Elite. My mom just joined. My sister's Yelp Elite. My other sister just turned 21, so she downloaded the Yelp app on my birthday. I was like, okay. Doesn't count as a gift, but
I love it. Yeah. Awesome. Someone shared that they are from Michigan and they have some friends that will kind of visit in smaller groups, so 2 or 3. What would you say they should do, or where should they take their friends the next time they're here for a weekend?
Oh, good question. I'm guessing they mean small groups as in like social distancing. Probably.
I think they just have maybe like a few friends that come into town. Yeah.
Okay. Just where should you go in general? Okay. Great question. There's so many places. I would say definitely I actually made a list on Yelp of if you only have 24 hours in Indy, here's what to do. I would definitely take them downtown, at least for a little bit of the day, so that they can see Monument Circle, take them on Mass Ave so they can see all of like the cool local shops and just kind of catch like the vibe and energy of downtown. Fountain Square is my favorite hangout area. So you could take them to Bova Conti. It's a really cute coffee shop that opened if you're there in the day. Wildwood Market in Fountain Square is really beautiful if you want to get like a sandwich to go and walk around Fountain Square. There is a really cool like record store and vintage clothing stores in Fountain Square. If you just walk around there, there's so much going on. There's like a wine bar that has their whole like window wall open, and so it's just like a lot of like places that are open to the outside down there. So that's really fun. Newfields is obviously gorgeous. If you haven't been there, it's our art museum, and they have a really cool campus, and they also have a beer garden, so you can have lunch and walk around. My personal favorite is the International Marketplace. If you haven't been there, it's an area on kind of like Lafayette 38th area. It's a neighborhood, and they have over 200 languages that are spoken in that area by the business owners. So that's where you can find almost any cuisine from around the world. And I think that's really special. So that's an area I try to go and support frequently. If you're on the north side, Daniel's Vineyard is really pretty. It feels like a little mini vacation. You can get a wine slushie and just lay in the sun. Yeah, there's a lot of cool places, but great question. I can send you my list.
Awesome. Yeah, we definitely need to check that list out so that we can check out some of these spots that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Are there any opportunities for small businesses to collaborate with Yelp Elite? Someone in the group shared that they run a boutique and they think it would be so fun to do some sort of an event.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I love to partner with anyone. Like I truly don't think I've ever said no to anyone. So your odds are high. I'd love to know what boutique. That's really cool. So there's a bunch of different ways we can partner. Right now, I'm trying to think, since our events are virtual, it's hard because we can't like be in the boutique. In the past, we've done events where we're in the boutique and we set up like different cocktail stands and food stands, and you maybe hear the story of the business owner and have like a discount in the store while you eat and drink or have like some kind of cool craft or activity. We do a lot on our socials. So even if we can't do if a virtual event doesn't make sense, we can share about you on socials. If you have any good photos, I'm constantly looking for good content. Again, that's just free. I just need good photos. Blue Peppermint Boutique. Yes, I think we actually posted about you in December for Shop Fishers, I'm pretty sure. You guys have really, really cute stuff. I looked on your page for a while. We can definitely partner in some way, whether it's social or a virtual event, or even if we did like a discount for the Elite Squad, or like some kind of fun incentive that if they shop on this day, they get this cool Yelp swag, or for sure. Send me an email. My email is Niki, Niki@yelp.com.
Awesome. And we will definitely share after like your email and how to connect with you on social and how to connect with Yelp Indy on social so that everybody in the group can get connected and stay up to date on what's going on and follow your adventures.
Perfect.
What's your favorite ice cream place in Indy?
Oh, that's a great question. I actually started to put that on my favorite slide that I had, and then I couldn't decide, and so I deleted it. One that I know this isn't the question, but one that I haven't been to yet is Cones and Crumb, which I've seen is really, really cute. It's by like Rail Epicurean, and I don't know if that street has a name, but is that in Noblesville?
I have no idea.
There's a really cute street. I think it's Noblesville, but it's all these cute little houses that are all different colors, and they're all attached, and they're all restaurants and ice cream shops. And it gets really crowded, but it's really cute. Other ice cream shops that I love, Tiny House Treats was really good. I honestly don't eat ice cream that often. It really makes my stomach hurt, but Ohana, which is the donut shop I just went to, they have those Dole Whips, which if you've been to Disney World, they're amazing. It's like essentially like pineapple soft serve. So I got one of those too. That was worth the stomach pain.
Oh my gosh, that sounds tasty. Maybe that is something we need to field from the listeners. Like, what's your favorite ice cream shop? Share with us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna ask
Put it in
right
the chat.
back at you.
I love it. For me, it's anywhere with Superman ice cream. So I'm not sure if I'm 12 or if I'm almost 30, but it's fine.
That's so fun. I've never tried Superman ice cream. Like, what is that flavor?
Yeah, exactly. That is the true question. That's the true question.
You know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna check that off the bucket list this summer.
Yes, do it. You'll have to let me know for sure.
I will.
Awesome. All right. One kind of random question. What has been your all-time favorite event for Yelp?
Ooh, that's really good. Um, um, so two come to mind. Sorry, the sun's moving at my house. One was something that my intern planned, which is really cool for me to see her bring an event to life for the first time. There was a apartment building on Mass Ave that had just opened. It's called Penrose on Mass. They have really, really cool apartments. But she planned an event where before they opened, they let us take over about 10 of their apartment rooms and use them to put in different food vendors that were opening on Mass Ave as well. So it was a big breakfast bash in this apartment building in like the model apartment rooms. So you go from room to room and get like a mimosa or a donut from Rise and Roll or a breakfast burrito from Condado, things like that. So that was really cool to see her really proud, and the event was super successful. So that was awesome. And then one of my personal favorites is, I mentioned how much I love pupusas already, but we did one with 3-in-1 restaurants on 86 in town. And that owner is super, super sweet. And he's someone that I just like frequently talk to because he's just like so with it and he tries so hard and he's just like all in and he's just really sweet. So I loved hearing him tell a story, and it was only 20 people. And so I really got to talk to everyone. So I like when I can really connect with people.
I love it. That's so fun. Love to hear kind of your favorites and what stands out to you.
Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap up, I just have two final questions. When you think about Yelp, I mean, obviously, I think I have seen a lot following Yelp Indy, just like the stories from small business owners. But what would you say is like the biggest impact that Yelp has on the city?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think so many things, but I think the main one is giving a voice to businesses that, again, don't have the millions of marketing dollars. Because, again, it's free to be on Yelp. If you're doing a great job, you have awesome reviews and people are seeing you. So I think that's pretty empowering because without Yelp, if you didn't have money to be putting in ads and billboards and things like that, like you were nowhere essentially if people weren't just organically finding you and walking past your business. And with Yelp too, I've been able to find so many great places that from the outside I might have, judged or assumed were closed or, like things like that. Like for example, my favorite pupusa restaurant, like their outside was like very run down and like honestly from the outside I would not have guessed that it's open or like maybe been I don't know, questioning like the cleanliness, but using Yelp, like there's even health scores on the app. So they actually have one of the best health scores in the city. And like just by seeing it on the app is how I discovered the business. And now I go back frequently. And so I really feel like it's gotten people out of their comfort zones and really helps support businesses that maybe didn't have that support before. I also see someone's comment says, I feel like there would be so many Enneagram 7 Yelpers. And I actually brought this up the other day because I obviously am a 7. And I was like, does everyone I work with, are they all 7s? Like, I agree. I think that's probably high up there.
I love it. I love it. Maybe that is like one of the things on your list. We all learn about the Enneagram together.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Before we wrap up, just one last question. Can you tell us what community means to you?
Yeah. I love this question. The first thing that comes to mind for me is having different types of people connecting over one thing. So that's just how I feel about the events and just witnessing everyone coming together. I think that's a hard thing to do, to get people maybe talking to someone they wouldn't regularly talk to. And so that's always my biggest goal, is to be connecting different groups together in one evening. So I think that's what community is, just kind of expanding your bubble.
I love it. Awesome. I think, if people didn't know already, it is so clear that Yelp truly is more than just an app where you find restaurants in your local city. I think it does so much good, and there is just so much to the app itself and the platform. So thank you for sharing a little bit about Indy and just like the work that you do through Yelp and everything like that. I know it has been so fun to learn. And even as Yelp Elite, I'm learning and learning all the time. So we can't say thank you enough for coming to join us tonight. And I will let Nee come back on and wrap us up.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Niki, again, thank you so much. This was fantastic. One more time, could you tell us where, if they want to connect with you, I know you mentioned your email, but where can they find you? Social media, email? Can you repeat that one more time for us?
Yeah, absolutely. And real quick, I just wanted to say too, if you're not an Enneagram 7 and you are shy and you don't like to go to places alone, I have people message me all the time that say like, I'm so scared to come to this event. Like, I don't know anyone. And I told Erica before that whenever people message me things like that, I always seat them next to someone like Erica, who's just like so friendly, so smiley. So yeah, I also have your back if that's not your thing. Yeah, so you can email me at Niki, N-I-K-I @yelp.com. I don't know how I just got my first name in such a big company. And then you can follow us at Yelp Indy, just Yelp and then INDY on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Yeah. That's it.
Perfect.
That's everything. Use the Yelp app and I'll probably message you at some point too.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Niki. Erica, thank you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you learned something new and are super excited to try out some new places. I know I am, and I know my wife is too. So we're ready to try some new places. Thank you guys so much. As we mentioned, be on the lookout for upcoming dates in July. Nothing has been official yet, but we'll let you know as soon as possible. Thanks so much for being a part of this. Continue to let your friends know, join in. If you want to share, if you have something that you're passionate about, love to talk about, or pro at something, literally anything, we would love to chat with you about how you can present and just share what you love, what you do, what you're passionate about with us. But once again, thank you guys so much for being a part of it. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I also want to give, before we head out, just a special shout out to the rest of the Community Culture Night team who all summer has been putting this together. They've been awesome. Erica, Destiny, Nate, Garrett, Bree, you guys have been fantastic. If you guys don't know them, they're awesome. This is a really great group that's put this together. So just want to say thank you guys so much. Hope to see you guys soon and take care.